Yeah, I think the movie is about rugged individualism. And I think that America really, and capitalism in particular, really were the avenues to express that, or to host the rugged individualists. I think the American dream has an incredible amount of promise to it. It can be a bit of a red herring for people because it's unattainable. But I think that because there are people who can live the American dream, it's a carrot. And it's a carrot at the end of a stick, is the expression. You're constantly running towards it. But the idea that it doesn't matter where you come from or who you are or what you desire to be, if you believe in it and you stick with it, that you can achieve glory and you can leave yourself and be this greater thing. That is really powerful. You know, the greatest story ever told is capitalism. We know that. But the greatest promise of all time is the American dream. And I think after the war, America, you know, we were the shit, you know what I mean? We used, and that American dream was the victory of the war. It was allowed the American dream, this little flame, it was like gasoline onto it. And, you know, that cockiness, I think, is really seen. The beginning of American cockiness is there.
Like Bob Dylan said, don't look back. So what was done is done. I'm very proud of the work. And as far as a resemblance to the character, you know, I say this not ironically. This is the most me I was before I had a career, you know. And I say that delicately because he's not the most admirable character in some sense, because he is very motivated to achieve his goals, but I felt like that was what I related to the most with this character, was this sort of fierce determination and drive to get to where I wanted in my career, and not taking no for an answer, especially in the film industry where there's so much rejection when you come out the gate, and really the only person believing in yourself is you at the jump. So that was probably where I related to Marty the most, and that I was most proud that Josh saw in me something I felt other directors hadn't seen before, and allowed me to be a version of me that is very different than Little Women, is very different from Call Me By Your Name, or Wonka. You know, this is a more animalistic guy, you know. So I hope that answers that. Yeah.
I met Timmy when I was at a premiere for Good Time with Robert Pattinson, and I was introduced to him as, you know, he was the next superstar. And, you know, you're very skeptical when you hear that. And I met him, and I met this kid who was there, but he wasn't where he wanted to be. And he knew, he was letting me know, this isn't who I am. Who I am is Timothée Supreme. And he had this energy to him that was exploding inside of him. And he couldn't stop moving, but he was really serious, very serious, but also completely jokey. He was a jokester, and you know, so there was an interesting, you know, conundrum in internal dialogue with him that I was fascinated by, you know, and I knew he was somebody who was on a quest for greatness. And I saw the dreamer inside of him, and I thought it was so appropriate for this character.
I felt like that from 22 years old to 26 years old. That is to say, when my career really took off, I felt like the rug got pulled on me. And that's why, in many ways, while I'm very proud of Call Me By Your Name and Beautiful Boy and these movies I did up top, Marty Supreme and A Complete Unknown, I feel like, with all humility, but to lock in on a role like this, with the noise in my life now, I'm so proud of. So I look back on these two roles like with the most pride, because those early movies, no one wants anything from you. There's no distractions from the outside world. You wish there was distractions from the outside world. And this was like starting with A Complete Unknown into Marty Supreme, boxing out all distractions, realizing that the gift of my life is to work as an actor at the highest level. And that if I see people, some peers or whatever, live in fear in protecting this gift, or living without care for their gift, in other words, being reckless with it, living off the candy of life in a sense, I went, okay, I don't want to do either of those paths. I want to do the original gift, which was to work as an actor and do my best. And so I hope that answers that at all. Yeah.